Ever wondered what makes Ghost of Tsushima one of the most beautiful open-world games ever made? It's not just art, it's a masterpiece of technology. Today, we're doing a deep technical dive into how Sucker Punch Productions brought feudal Japan to life. We'll break down their proprietary engine, explore the stunning visual effects like wind and particles. Ghost of Tsushima is built on Sucker Punch's own in-house engine, the same one that powered the infamous series. The primary goal was to create a breathtakingly immersive open world. Think about it, the wind-swept fields of grass, the dynamic weather that rolls in, the detailed particles of dust, mud and blood that feels so real. It's all thanks to a rich, data-driven visual effects system. Particles aren't just for show. They actually query the game world. They react to the terrain, the water, the wind, and your every movement. This is why mud splatters realistically and leaves part as you walk through them. It's a world that truly responds to you. So how does all this beauty run on the original hardware? On a base PlayStation 4, Ghost of Tsushima targets 30 frames per second at a 1080p resolution. Even on the more powerful PS4 Pro, the game sticks to a 30 FPS target, whether you're in the higher resolution quality mode or the performance mode. The performance mode lowers the resolution to about 1080p to ease the rendering load. But the frame rate benefit is minimal, staying locked at 34 stability. To achieve this, the base hardware version makes some smart sacrifices, like using slightly lower resolution assets and reducing particle density in certain scenes to maintain that stable performance. Then came the director's cut for the PlayStation 5, which was a true game changer. This version unlocked a whole new level of performance, targeting a smooth 60 frames per second. It also introduced dynamic 4K resolution, often using clever techniques like checkerboard rendering to deliver stunningly sharp visuals. But the biggest quality of life improvement, the loading times. Thanks to the PS5's high-speed SSD, fast travel and respawning are nearly instantaneous. On top of that, the director's cut added enhancements like perfect Japanese lip syncing for cutscenes, immersive 3D audio, and incredible DualSense controller feedback, making every sword strike and bow pull feel more impactful than ever before. Let's talk about the world itself. Tsushima is massive, but it's the attention to detail that makes it feel alive. The game features a full day, night cycle and dynamic weather that changes everything from lighting to the wetness of surfaces. This isn't just a visual backdrop. The particle systems are deeply interactive. When you slide down a muddy hill, your character actually accumulates mud. The way blood splatters depends on the angle and force of your attack. The wind doesn't just rustle leaves. It affects smoke, candle flames, and the direction of falling petals. Even the smallest creatures, like birds and insects, react to your presence. All these systems work together to create an unparalleled sense of immersion, all while being carefully optimized to run smoothly. To manage all this on different consoles, Sucker Punch offers various graphics modes. On PS4, it's about choosing between resolution and stability, though both hover around 30 FPS. On PS5, you get more meaningful choices. You can opt for a resolution mode that pushes for near 4K visuals, or a performance mode that prioritizes a rock-solid 60 FPS frame rate. It's important to note that even on PS5, cutscenes are often locked to 30 FPS for cinematic consistency. These modes often rely on smart upscaling techniques to hit those high resolutions without overwhelming the GPU. The trade-off is usually slightly less detail in things like shadow quality or the distance at which objects appear. But for most players, the boost to 60 FPS is absolutely worth it. Let's look at the numbers. The director's cut comes in at a hefty 91 gigabytes. On the PS5, this size is managed by the ultra-fast SSD, making loading screens a thing of the past. Fast travel is almost instant. On the PS4, the team used clever tricks to hide loading, like preloading assets during cutscenes and streaming the world in seamlessly as you ride across it. Behind the scenes, the engine is constantly optimizing memory, using different levels of detail for distant objects and employing advanced terrain shaders to keep performance steady on weaker hardware. The engine automatically scales down asset quality or the number of visual effects to ensure the game remains playable and smooth. It's a constant balancing act. Beyond just graphics, the immersion in Ghost of Tsushima is amplified by its incredible sound design and controller integration. The director's cut on PS5 utilizes 3D audio, allowing you to pinpoint the direction of sounds with amazing accuracy, whether it's the chirping of a bird, the whistle of the wind, or the footsteps of an approaching enemy. The DualSense controller adds another layer. You can feel the tension in your bowstring through the adaptive triggers and the clash of swords through nuanced haptic feedback. A huge upgrade was also the improved lip sync for the Japanese voice track. Originally, the animations were matched to the English dialogue, but the director's cut fixed this, creating a much more authentic and immersive experience for players who prefer the original Japanese audio. Of course, no game is perfect, and there are always trade-offs. On the base PS4, you might notice frame rate dips during intense combat sequences with lots of visual effects on screen. And as mentioned, performance modes on both platforms often have to reduce details like shadow quality and draw distance. Even on the powerful PS5, while gameplay hits that sweet 60 FPS, cutscenes remain at 30. Plus, achieving that crisp 4K image often relies on upscaling rather than being native 4K in every single frame. And let's not forget the file size. 91 gigabytes is a significant chunk of your storage space, making updates and patches quite large. So, what makes Ghost of Tsushima a technical marvel? It's the seamless marriage of aesthetic beauty and deep, systemic interactivity within a massive, performant open world. The way particles, mud, and foliage react not just to the player but to the state of the world itself is what sets it apart. It's not just a pretty picture. It's a dynamic simulation. The fact that this all runs so well across different hardware, from the base PS4 to the PS5, showcases a truly mature and well-designed engine. The director's cut didn't just slap on a higher resolution, it thoughtfully integrated next-gen features like the DualSense and Japanese lip sync to genuinely enhance the core experience. Looking to the future, Ghost of Tsushima sets a high bar. The next logical steps would be achieving a stable 60 FPS across the board, including cutscenes at a fully native 4K resolution. We can also imagine more advanced ray tracing for even more realistic lighting and reflections. AI-driven techniques could be used to stream textures more efficiently, and dynamic weather could have an even greater impact on the world. As hardware gets more powerful, we might see even larger worlds created with procedural tools, reducing manual development time. All of this could pave the way for expanded multiplayer features without sacrificing the stunning visual fidelity that made the game so famous. And that's our deep dive into the technology of Ghost of Tsushima. It's truly a testament to what a dedicated team can achieve when art and engineering come together. If you found this breakdown interesting, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for our next video.